when this comes out, the Privy book should be out. So go check out Privy's new book.
We interrupt this program to bring you this important message. Welcome to Marketing Interruption, a daily podcast powered by BlueTuskr that interrupts your day with marketing news, tips and strategies from an entrepreneur who lives and breathes marketing. Now, let the interruption begin with your host, Andrew Maff.
Hello and welcome to episode number 60 of the Marketing Interruption podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Maftone, and today, of course, it's Friday, so I'm doing a recap of this week. So originally on Monday, I spoke to you guys about TikTok being partially purchased by Walmart and Oracle, how I think that that's a great move on Walmart. Now, I think a lot of sellers can take a lot out of that book where, you can essentially be investing 10 years from now into your future and actually getting ahead of the curve so that future you can thank past you. We talked about Apple possibly having a search engine, which would be crazy. I still have no any further insight really than what I did prior when we did the episode, but they are still just rumored right now. We don't know if it's true, but it can definitely be a very interesting move that obviously sellers need to get ready for. UGC, so we talked about user-generated content and how you can gain it through reviews and emails and social ads and things like that, and then how to leverage it through website and social media and more email and things like that. So it's really just kind of a circular feeding thing. And then, of course, yesterday I talked about acquiring different e-commerce companies so that you can actually expand your product line. You can expand your email list, which I think in certain aspects, depending on the companies that you're purchasing, where if you're working out a deal with them where you're doing more of a profit share, leveraging that list is a very interesting thing because you're not getting a cold list. You're getting another company's list and you're being able to send them. It'd almost be like purchasing an influencer's page. To that point, you're posting to them, but they know they're getting emails from you. So they know it exists. And to me, obviously the second most important KPI is emails next to purchases, of course. But so that was everything we talked about. It was definitely an interesting week, some speculation, some growth hacks. I wanted to mention a book actually this week. I think it'd be pretty good if I mentioned, I try to read different marketing and e-commerce books all the time. And I know that Privy is coming out with one pretty soon. Actually, when this comes out, the Privy book should be out. So go check out Privy's new book. I haven't read it yet because I haven't got it because as of today, it's not out yet. But when you hear this, it will be out. So I'll definitely be reading it. I'm sure it's going to be great. Their podcast is awesome too. But the one I wanted to give some love to is actually Russel Brunson's Expert Secrets. So it's a very good book. Russel Brunson, if you don't know who he is, he's a ClickFunnels guy. I talked about him a few weeks ago where, whether funnels are good for e-commerce sellers or not. And it's a great book. It talks a lot about funnels, of course, but it talks about how different companies have leveraged different funnels. And it gets real deep. It's a big book. I only read like an hour or two a day when I have time. So it took me some time to finish it. It's a bigger one. But it's a fantastic read. You can definitely hear Russel Brunson's voice in it. If you've ever listened to his podcast, it's written like he talks. But it's a great read. And there's some good examples in there of e-commerce sellers who have leveraged funnels before. And I know I mentioned it a while ago, so I kind of wanted to give some more information, I guess, to the funnels that I spoke about before. But it's a great read. I would say go check it out. I'll add a link to it in the show notes. Feel free to also just nag Russel Brunson. I think you can get it for free off his site, if I'm not mistaken. You'll have to look at that. But that's all I had for today. So just a recap of the week. Per usual, rate, review, subscribe. Send me some questions if you guys have anything you want me to talk about, just so that I don't have to think about content anymore. It's a lot easier if I could just answer someone's questions. So let's do that. And we're going to start having some guests soon too, so keep an eye out. But I will see you all next week, and thanks again.
Thank you for joining us for today's Marketing Interruption. Make sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show. And don't forget to email marketinginterruption@bluetuskr.com with any marketing questions you'd like to have answered on the show. And head over to marketinginterruption.bluetuskr.com to catch up on past episodes. Until next time. We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.